ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So, have you ever wanted to slap yourself upside the head so hard it wasn't even funny? I had two really good videos for you, including this one, um, all ready to upload, everything. And I had them all, they were completed. All I had to do was compile them, upload them. I would have had the video done in a half an hour. And I went to delete the original replays because obviously I didn't need them now. And when I did, I forgot to unclick. I had the ones that I already had finished. I had them highlighted too, and I forgot to unhighlight those. It was such a big file because there were so many of them. It said this will be permanently deleted from your computer. Do you want to continue? And I'm thinking I'm just deleting two files, and I hit yes, and then all of a sudden my file with everything in it gone. I'm like, shit. So here I am again. Oh my god. But anyway, so here's a new map. Just want to see if you guys can figure out what map this is. This one I was completely, again, dumbfounded, had not any clue in the world. Every once in a while I'll unpause it, so if something's fuzzy, that way it doesn't make it. So you're looking, I don't want you to be like, well, we couldn't tell because it was fuzzy. You know, because you see this here when it pauses. Some of the stuff, if it's not on the screen, it'll be fuzzy. Well, you're playing the game, it doesn't do that, obviously. But I couldn't figure out for the life of me what map this was. I was going to do a little competition, say whoever can answer to what map this is first, you'll win a tank. But, you know, I didn't think it was fair because if somebody had the test server on their computer, then they'd already know what map it is. So it just didn't seem fair. And I didn't want to be like, oh, the first, 3 people, and, we're talking 40, 50 bucks if I pick a certain tank, or we're looking at several $100s if I let you pick a tank. Every time I do a giveaway, I've never had somebody that I said, go ahead and pick a tank, pick a $5 tank. They always pick the low or the T-34, $55, $60 tank. Which I don't blame them. I do the same thing if some dumbass was going to buy me a tank. So have you guys figured out what map this is yet? I'll give you a hint. Starts with a T. Undra. Fundra, Tundra, Fundra. Just to show you, Tundra. And let's make sure this is set up with just Z tanks, so that's not taking up so much room up top there. I think I got the map pretty good size. I got it kind of see-through. One thing I did notice, and I'm just going to pause this, go to settings, and when I clicked on Minimap Transparency, this was unhighlighted. And so I highlighted it, and it gave me this warning. Enabling this setting will reduce computer performance in battle. And all I was doing was making it less bright. So to me, it seems like it would have made it actually run better, perform better, because you're making the map less graphics or something. I don't know. I thought that was kind of strange. But, I left it on and I put it down at a lower setting because I want you guys to be able to see through it. But, like I said, I've got all the eye candy turned all the way up except for the motion blur. I've got that turned off. They did fix a few things before we watched the replay. I sent a message into them because there's a forum that you can go to. I don't know if it's just because I sent it in, which I highly doubt, because I sent it in yesterday, and today they came out with the update, the 4th update for the test server, and they fixed the tracks. So now instead of just having a line across here and looking like blah, literally, like if you watch my replay of the test server that I uploaded either yesterday or the day before, the tank tracks just had a line across there where like your actual lat would be, and it was like a solid piece here that was like a sand colored brown, and then this was just a different color. It just looked like World of Tanks Blitz, the track did. Or way back when World of Tanks was first coming out with the settings literally turned on super duper low. So I sent him a message. I said, hey, are the tracks going to get fixed? Because they look kind of funky. Oh, I just noticed one thing on this. Oh no, that's a 705 that's got the barrel cover. But they fixed that. I guess there was a few tanks if you aimed at, no matter where you aimed at it, it would stay that red versus, when you aim at a weak spot, it would turn like green. your aim reticle. So they fixed that. There was a couple other things they went through and fixed, but let's get this replay rolling. I will stay in third-person view because you can see the difference when an HE shell hits you compared to a heat shell compared to a AP, an APCR shell. Big difference. You'll see explosions with fire when a heat shell hits you. When a HE shell hits you, you'll see kind of an explosion but no fire. When an AP shell hits you, you'll see sparks. And they also, I may not have to put my paintball mod back on here. That's the one I really like because I can go, oh, that's where they hit me. Oh, that's where they hit me. Because, oh, going through that water is so cool too. I'll show you that now you can actually see when you get shot. They really defined when something penetrates your superstructure, and you can see a lot easier when something does hit you. It's still not as easy as the paintball mod because obviously that's red and green, so it's really going to stick out. So if you get shot down in the tracks down here, like, you wouldn't really be able to see it, but you can, you know, with the paintball mod. But you're going to see every round except for, which I think the E100 on the enemy team was just trying to see how much damage you could do shooting nothing but standard rounds. Like, that was a heat shell because you saw the fire come off the rock as he missed. And you'll see the difference between HE and heat, and it's really cool. See that round I just got hit with? The first one was an AP round, so it was basically just kind of a bounce. Now I start getting hit with nothing but APCR rounds, gold, you know, the premium rounds. And it does a little bit of a spark, but when you get hit with the big heat rounds, yeah, watch the puff of smoke that comes off the front. The replay I had with my, so like that one was an AP round. I mean, I'm not even looking at this. I'm just, you know, be able to guess by seeing what comes off the front of this. That one was a HE round from artillery that I could see the shell coming at me, actually. Because you can see the tracer rounds, which is nice. Oh, I did get a comment from somebody that watched, whoop, right there. See that round right there where it went through me? It actually looks like a round went through your superstructure now. That's where that one was a bounce. That one right there and was a penetration. So I like what they did with the rounds that penetrate and bounce. It's a lot easier to see when something hits you. Before, sometimes it would leave a little mark. You couldn't even see it. Now, like with my paintball mod, there would be a big red mark around that too, like a splotch of red, so you could see it a lot easier. Like when you get shot in the superstructure underneath in here, sometimes even with these newer looking way better high definition holes, you still can't see it in there, whereas when you get hit with the paintball mod, they'd leave a big red blotch in there so you can see exactly where you get hit. And I like to have that for the simple fact that when I get hit by something, I'm like, where the hell did it hit me? You know, I'm trying to show you guys a replay that you're not going, well, what the hell did hit them? You know, I can go, oh, look at that, it hit me right there and it bounced. Or, oh, look at that, it hit me right there and that was a penetration. Makes it a lot easier. But what I was saying is I had somebody that watched the replay of the new test server that I uploaded the other day, and you know, I was saying something about how the rounds look so realistic, and he says, well, I don't like the rounds, it seems more like Star Wars. And I think I messaged him back. I can't remember if I told him in the message or not, but I told him, I'm like, hey, believe me, I was on a tank unit. You go out to a range with a tank, especially in the evening at night, that's what a tank tracer round does look like flying across in the air. That's what that is as flipping real as it gets. That's what it exactly looks like. Now during the day, it is harder to see them, but you can still see a tracer round coming from. Now we're talking real tanks. You know, I've been at enough ranges to see enough tanks shoot, and believe me, when an M1 Abrams battle tank shoots, you see a round flying across into a target. I mean, you can Google it or go to YouTube and search it, and go to like M1 firing range and watch them shoot, and you will see a round fly across the map like they do here. And it's like I told him, it's, hey dude, that's as real as it gets, man. That's what it really looks like. But he said he didn't really like it. He thought it looked more like kind of Star Wars-y or something. But no, that's for real, man. That's what it looks like. It's the real deal. Yeah, they did an outstanding job on these new graphics. I am very, like, that was a heat round from a Girl 15 that hit me there. It bounced. Let me see if I can find where that one hit. Well, right here. So it's easier to see where they hit you, but it still can be hard at times to find exactly where certain, where you got hit certain times. But like every round that hit me except for that E100 was the standard round. I take that back. I do have a Kranvagn in a little bit. Come around the corner, and he puts a magazine of 4 shells into me. They all bounce, but they were all standard rounds too. So some people might be testing to see, I wonder how I can do in this in a tier 10 match with none of the standard rounds. I was actually shooting HE rounds, but I'm doing it on purpose to kind of show you what happens when you shoot something with an HE shell. Now this Fox B, I think they actually toughen the front of that up. That sight that goes across, like this one right here, they use for sighting targets. I hit him here in a second, and I do like a whopping 140 damage. Right here, watch. 104, I'm sorry, 104. With a round that can do a potential of 840. So I have a feeling they really toughened that bar up, because I hit him with another heat round, or HE round here in a minute, and that time I did 400. Now, whereas, obviously if I hit him with an AP or an APCR or a heat round, it'll probably go right through it like butter. Well, I mean, if it does go through it, it'll do full. What I meant to say is that if it goes through it, if you do penetrate it, it will obviously do, full damage. It's not going to do, 104, because that really all depends on where you penetrate, how thick the armor is there. But this grill, obviously, he's shooting all. Start wiggling my front, and so now I bounce the Kranvagn and bounce the grill. He just knocked my track off, fixed the track, and every round the Kranvagn hit me with bounced. I mean, he's shooting me in that front lower plate, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds. He shot me 3 times, and was it the grill? I think it was the grill 15 that shot me too. Yeah, it must have been the grill 15 that shot me there too. But now you can see actually where rounds are hitting you and not penetrating. Or, see, it's gone. I had been hit right here, and that round, yep, that round is gone. And I also got hit on the side, and that one's gone because it was right here. So after you get hit with so many rounds, it's what I thought. Stuff disappears after you get hit with so many rounds. Now, like if I get hit one more time in the lower plate, this round will probably disappear where it hit me. So I don't like that. The paintball mod that I download and use, that they stay on the whole match. So you can always see where you were hit. Even if you get hit 25 or 100 times, you'll be littered with green or red, but you can see where every round hits you. But I bounced 5,080 already. He hit my engine, and that time he knocked my engine out. Let's see what that one looks like here. Yep, see right here? I mean, I'm not pretty impressed, very impressed on what they did with the rounds too, because you can see a hole right where it went in the engine deck. And this is going to give you guys a heads up. This is kind of where you want to shoot them if you can, like in this area. That seems to be kind of a weak spot, because you can see hinges on it. I imagine that's one big thick, but not thick enough flap. Now, I'm also kind of on a downward angle, so that's making it kind of flat for him. If it were more of a straight on, then he probably wouldn't have been able to pen me there. But, you can see his rounds are going at an angle, so they're kind of going straight in, because I'm giving him like, it's flattening out because he's up here on a hill. So he's shooting basically down into that. And I think that's why I was able to pen there so easily. Still shooting premium rounds, but yeah, I really like what they did with the rounds when they hit you too now. Unfortunately, I ended up getting taken out here in a minute, but we bounced 5,880 damage. Yeah, this thing, I'm telling you, it's a flipping beast. It really is. The gun is great. The armor's great. I did switch it back over to a fire extinguisher because I got caught on fire a second time, because literally, if they're on any kind of hill like this, or up here and they shoot you where he did in that plate right here, it's a front mounted engine, and it goes right through there, lights you on fire. So I've been lit on fire a couple times, so I put the fire extinguisher back on. Normally I would call it quits and stop it here, but I wanted you guys to see more than that side of the map, so I left it on, and that way you guys can kind of see more of the map and what it looks like. But they did a just a phenomenally outstanding job with what they did to the map. Or the maps. But so you can see, like, now when you run into that stuff, how it shimmies and shakes. I'm wondering, really, I still haven't checked with one of my arties to see if you can really spot, like, if they're not lit up, and spot somebody and see them lit up, or not lit up, see them shake those bushes and stuff. And if it's easier to get, like, blind shots, if you see a bush shaking like that, like, oh, hey, there's something sitting in that bush, shoot it. This Patton did a really good job, but he's up here kind of just chai sniping. He does get hit a few times. I kind of want to check out his front end, too, when he gets hit. Now, that time he went into that bush and it didn't... Oh, that bush right there is shaking now because he shot, but he kind of rolled into it, but not super far, so that might have been why it didn't really shake. But this is on far east, southeast side of the map, and it's different. I want to see when he's shooting the water. He's not really in the water. It did move the water around, though. I think that's from... I want to see shoot over the water. When I was shaking the grass, I wanted to see if the water kind of blows out, too. Like, if you take a rock and throw it in the water, how does that splashing effect? Let's see, hopefully I already missed... Yeah, darn it. Should have left it on there for a minute to see what happened. I was just kind of going from different tank to different tank. So, like, he got hit with a round right here, because that wasn't there a minute ago. I remember in the old days in tanks, when you'd shoot, your tank would just sit there. It wouldn't move. It wouldn't even shake like that. It would just go boom. And the gun would actually recoil, but your tank wouldn't do that shaking like when you take a shot at something. Like, see that round right there where you got penetrated? And those rounds right there where they bounced. You know, you can see those get through the wood there. So you can see these rounds where he was shot and bounced. Not like that one penetrated. See, now that one, I'd like to know where he shot. Because that was, I imagine, a Hesh round, because it did... Oh, it's not showing the damage. It didn't do a lot, because he still got 455 health left, and he was at right around, I think, 15? Maybe not even that much, but I don't see where that shell hit. I was wondering if he hit him there. I really think they might have toughened that up right here. Because I hit that one over there with my HE round at 104 damage the first time, and 400 the second time. But still, I was like, wow, you got to be kidding me, 104 damage? Now this guy makes an awful bad mistake. So he just got shot. He knows he's lit. He sees the other guy. So the guy shot him. What would you do? I would hit the brakes and back up right here. What's this guy do? Hey, just let me give you my side to shoot at. Go ahead, really? Oh, okay. Well, do it again. I'm like, Jesus, dude. I mean, it didn't matter. It's just a test server, but I like when I'm on these test servers, I might try something a little risky that I normally wouldn't, but for the most part, I try and play it the way I would normally, and I saw the guy do that, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing? He could have easily survived if he would have stopped and backed up. Oh, and another thing, when you get killed now, it leaves a crater underneath your tank. Like this Fox B gets knocked out here. Watch right by the tank. Okay, now you see the explosion, right? Now look, I know it's hard to see. This M48 goes by him, but see how it's gray next to him? It's like, looks like gravel, and that wasn't there a minute ago. Now watch when the M48 drives by him. It actually leaves a kind of depression, and you can see where you had been destroyed. Let him get up here right next to it. But see how it leaves like a depression where you just got blew up now? Or where your tank had blown up? I think that's a real cool touch they added. I really need to talk to somebody that plays artillery a lot and ask them if they can spot tanks now when they run through a bush. Like, I don't know if he goes shoot. Yeah, no he didn't. you know, if you can see that bush, like you can see when a tree gets knocked over, I wonder if you can actually see, I already just got ammo wrecked. I wonder if you can see the bushes move if something's not lit up now. M48 did a pretty good job here. But see how the smoke comes off when he shoots them? And I'll show you. I'll let him shoot him. Nope. Thought he got. I know he takes him out, but I don't think I can zoom back far enough to really. Yeah, I can. Cool. But you see how it shows. Damn it. Damn it. I'm trying to show you the rounds like right here, right, and there's 2 right there. So you can see 3 different rounds shot him in the butt. And you can see where he shot him in the side. But like I said, after so many rounds hit something, they start to disappear. So you can see when it already hits the water, it splashes the water up too. I think they're going to work on the water a little bit more, where, so like if you take a rock and throw it in the water, how it does that splash? I think they'll end up eventually getting, when an arty shell hits water, it'll do like that, or when a tank shoots water, the water just doesn't kind of rip, it'll actually splash big time. Because they're doing fantastic work with this. This is phenomenal the way it is, but yeah, it's just getting better and better, and I've actually seen a drill like that before. Not quite that big. It was probably about half that size, but I've seen one of those. It was a coal digger, and it just scooped coal, and it scoops it up, it puts it on this, like up here, there's a ramp, and it feeds it down into a big, like either like a holding tank, or a big holding area, and then front end loaders are down there scooping it up and dumping it in dump trucks. But this is the area I was right here. I'm wondering if you can get up here if you move. I noticed one of the things they did fix in one of the maps was, I guess, one of the maps, there's a boat. People were actually able to drive down in the boat. Go figure, you know, it's a good thing people are finding these so they can fix them, but leave it to people that play World of Tanks to find these little hiding spots that aren't supposed to be there. But I'm wondering if you get going fast enough, if you can, or if somebody pushes you, if you can get up here. Because, I mean, if you get like 2 tanks up here, you could probably get all the way up in here. Now that I'm pointing these spots out, watch people actually get up there and be able to do it, and then they'll be like, oh, that tank and trucker told us right where to go. Look at the exhaust kind of coming out the back, and if he stops, I want to kind of zoom in on the exhaust so you can see. It just reminds me of a day when it's like hot out. Well, you can see the exhaust puff. I don't think he actually comes to a stop. I do know he comes up into this area up here, which I was kind of happy he went up there, because I wanted to kind of check that area out. It looks kind of the same up in here. But look at the grass and the wood and the sticks. It just freaking looks real. That tank, if I can't remember. It's you can hear the turbine whining in it. It's really, if you listen to the volume or the sounds, my big mouth running, you can actually hear the turbine spinning in that tank too now. Sounds almost like a little siren. I think they did a lot more to, you know, to the sounds and just a lot of everything. I thought he was going to flip himself. I'm like, oh no! I was hoping he'd stop so he could kind of check out the fumes, the exhaust, but anywho. So anyways, there you be. This is give you a little taste of, yeah, and here I was the only one that said, good job. You know, no one else, they don't give a shit. But unless that, what's that Russian guy had wrote NQA or something. Maybe that's good job in Russian. I don't know. I just wanted to kind of give you a taste of what it's like to be in these test servers, if you've never done one, it's a lot of premium rounds get slung around because you figure it's on World of Tanks' dime. They're giving you, geez, millions of credits and millions of gold and hundreds of or thousands of bonds. Why not use them? But yeah, you get in a test server, you better take something that's got some pretty decent armor, because this thing has got phenomenal armor. I mean, I bounced 5,880, and I still obviously got taken out. But if you figure that was a regular match where most people were slinging standard rounds, which even in regular ranked, or not ranked battles, but regular World of Tanks, not the test server here, a lot of people, and that's like you can see that crater around me where I blew up. Pretty cool. But even on regular World of Tanks, a lot of people sling straight premium rounds. I'm trying to get out of the habit of forgetting to switch it over. I still like to shoot my first round as a premium round, just to make sure you do that little bit of damage. If you get one shot of damage, you get knocked out. At least you did that one shot of damage versus shooting a standard round and it bouncing. But anyways, so... Well, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like button down below and subscribe to the channel. You guys take it easy, be safe, and I will see you on the battlefield.